This story happened to a couple who were looking for a peaceful place to start a new life. They wanted something away from the city noise, somewhere calm and safe. After weeks of searching, they found a large, beautiful house in an old neighborhood. What surprised them was the price. It was way cheaper than expected. The man selling the house was quiet and avoided eye contact. Before leaving, he said one strange thing. "Just so you know, nights here aren't always quiet." They didn't think much of it. The first night went smoothly, but around 1:30 a.m., they heard soft knocking sounds coming from the shared wall. Then, something heavy being dragged across the floor. They told themselves it was just the house settling. Old houses make noise. The noises get worse. Over the next few days, the sounds became harder to ignore. Loud music in the middle of the night. Angry voices. Sometimes it sounded like someone was slamming their body against the wall. When they asked the neighbor about it, he smiled calmly and said, "I live alone. Maybe you're just imagining things." The panic call. One night at exactly 2:07 a.m., the phone rang. The neighbor was screaming. "Someone broke into my house. Please call the police." The police arrived quickly and searched the entire place. No broken doors, no signs of forced entry. The neighbor insisted the intruders had already escaped with valuables. The police left, but something felt off. Something didn't add up. A few nights later, the couple saw something disturbing from their window. Two men were quietly carrying heavy bags out of the neighbor's house. They moved like they had done this before. This time, the police caught one of them. During questioning, the man mentioned a name that shocked everyone. He spoke fluently in a foreign language, but the real neighbor didn't speak that language at all. The hidden truth. That's when the truth started coming out. The man living next door wasn't the real homeowner. Police searched deeper and found a locked basement. Inside, they discovered the real neighbor, injured, weak, and barely able to speak. He confessed everything. The confession. He had betrayed his wife in the worst way. When she found out, she didn't leave. Instead, she planned something far darker. She hired people to take over the house, lock him away, and create chaos. The loud music, the fake break-ins, the strange noises. It was all meant to look normal. To make sure no one ever suspected the truth. The ending. The entire operation was shut down. Everyone involved was arrested. The couple eventually moved out. But even today, they say, sometimes when we pass that house, we still hear footsteps at night, even though no one lives there anymore. When my father bought the house, it felt like a miracle. It was cheap, spacious, and located in a quiet neighborhood. The only downside was its age. The house was old, very old. Still, we didn't think much of it. We moved in the same week. My bedroom was in the basement. At first, I liked it. It was quiet, isolated, and far from the noise upstairs. But after a few days, I realized something was wrong. Late at night, when everyone was asleep, I started hearing sounds. Not from the pipes. Not from the floor. The noises were coming from inside the walls. Soft scratching. Slow movement, like someone shifting their weight carefully, trying not to be heard. I told myself it was just an old house settling. That's what people always say. But the sounds didn't stop. They happened every single night. One evening, my parents went out and left me alone at home with my little sister. She was sleeping upstairs, and we had a baby monitor set up in her room. Around 2 a.m., the monitor suddenly made noise. At first, I thought it was static. But then I heard footsteps. Clear footsteps. My heart dropped. I looked at the screen and saw movement like a shadow passing by the camera. I rushed upstairs and pushed her bedroom door open. The room was empty. My sister was asleep, breathing calmly. But the baby monitor was lying on the floor, face down. It hadn't fallen. It looked like someone had picked it up and thrown it. The next morning, I told my parents everything. The sounds, the monitor, the footsteps. They didn't fully believe me until I mentioned the walls. My father went quiet. He said something strange had come up during the house inspection. A built-in bookshelf in the basement wall that didn't match the rest of the structure. That's when they called the police. When officers arrived, they examined the basement carefully. They removed the bookshelf. Behind it was a narrow passage. The passage led to a small hidden room inside the walls. Inside, they found food wrappers, a flashlight, a switchblade, personal items someone had clearly been using. Someone had been living there. But the worst discovery came last. There was a small hole carved into the wall. That hole faced directly into my bedroom. According to the police, someone had been hiding there for months, watching me sleep, watching me change clothes, watching my family without us ever knowing. We moved out immediately. Even now, years later, I can't sleep in a room without checking the walls. I can't ignore strange noises. I can't feel completely safe indoors. Because I learned something the hard way. Sometimes the places we trust the most are the ones hiding the darkest secrets.